Hi, my name is Niveditha. I'm a 2013 fellow. I teach in Chennai. So I've been teaching third grade. So third grade and fourth grade, I've been teaching since 2 years now. So we started in a place when the first day when I came in, I made it a point that I want to communicate. Even though I know Tamil, I wanted to fully communicate to them in English. But I think initial 2 weeks was extremely difficult when I had that vision for myself that I will communicate in English. It took a long way from there. I think just speaking did not work out. I think a lot of pictures and a lot of action while speaking really made that difference. So majorly they saw school is more of a list of rules, what you need to do, how you need to enter the class, but certain things was really good what they already had, like certain manners, like you need to write neatly, you need to maintain a book neatly, when you come inside a class you need to ask permission. Those were like good aspects. But apart from that, the biggest challenge was an exam, this exam point of view. Whenever they think about an exam, it's more like I need to by heart, I need to mug up. And their relationship with the teachers was more like, if I don't do this, my teacher will hit me. So it was more that corporal punishment which was the driving factor than the realization of themselves is what I feel. So I basically want them to be independent and be able to self-evaluate themselves and also be able to take their own decisions, more informed decisions, I would put it. When I came into the class, I think this was one thing which was lacking extremely badly in the class. So, for example, people were really good in dancing. I found a lot of children really good in singing, but they were not with that realization that they can dance well. So they were always criticized by their peers, criticized by their teachers that this is not good. So I thought like to be different and instead of criticizing, appreciate what you have, I think. So starting from the appreciation, let's take it forward and see how far this will take them. Beginning of the second year onwards, I wanted to see how less I can make my presence in the class and how more they can get onto task and keep doing things. And that's when I got this idea of student-led classes. So it's literally been many days since I took a full-fledged class. It always have a lot of student involvement, different people doing different things. I think my vision is slowly translating into a space where when I do it for example, a science lesson, they get their idea on their own and do it for a social lesson. I have had many students telling me that, okay, no, the Olympiad is coming in a week's time, so you leave, we will practice for it. In the same class, they form a group, they practice on their own. So that seriousness is there, and similarly, if it is a normal day, the same 5 o'clock, they would rather wish to play in the class. But another thing is how they have approached each problem, even though they are making silly mistakes, how they have approached the problem would give me that confidence instead of following the traditional steps if they are trying something new or what are the different approaches they are doing. I think that will give me the confidence. And so in the start of the year, many of them were like pre-emergent. Pre-emergent is they couldn't read a basic text where we read the story, we read the questions, and still they were not able to answer such questions. But now they are able to lead a maths class, they are learning mixed fractions, they are learning improper fractions. I think that's a humongous growth in them. I always have this feeling that I'm just going to be here for 2 years and I don't want to waste any minute and make it as productive as possible. So I try to teach as much as I can which will reach their brains. So there was a lot of 5th standard objectives which is covered as well. So I think definitely they're in a place to be very much comparable to the high income group. Around 14 people wrote the maths exam, and in an international rank, the lowest rank was around 1,000. So the first 2 people were qualified for the next round in the Olympiad exam. It's a worldwide exam. I think 28 countries writing the exam and 2 of my kids also going to the next level. I think it's clearly in a comparable space. In year 1, I used to have a lot of problems with respect to homework, submissions or assignments or doing things what I tell them to, but now there is a lot of ownership from themselves. Hardly I face any time when I had to ask them why you didn't do the homework. Initial 6-7 months I was more like we had very clear boundaries when you will call me and all that. we followed rules and everything. Now literally I've removed the rules chart from my class. There's no behavior tracker in my class. I think now it's more like friends. If you want anything, you can ask, because I have that confidence that they will be on task wherever they are. So when I say something, I feel I need to practice that as well. So when I tell them don't come to school late, I think I should also come to school on time. I think the proudest moment was the Olympiad. Not just the result, but the entire practice time when I got to learn a lot more from their independent practice time when I sat with them. So I think that entire journey I got, it was a 1-month journey where we practiced and everything. It helped me understand the kids much more and what are their capabilities. I think a leader should be someone who is being, through his actions and through his thoughts, able to other person come up with his own decision, more than giving instructions, making the other person realize what his potential is, where he lacks, what his strengths are, and then make an informed decision. I think that's true leadership, helping the other person making their own choices. Through the 2 years, I constantly feel the need to give the importance to all the kids. So I realized through many extra classes what I gave to the children. When I sat with them, it's just that little extra time which made all the difference. Before, when I read numbers such as only 10% of children can do these sums in 5th standard, I didn't have any connect towards it. It was just more like numbers and percentages. But when I actually visit the school, when I interact with students, when I'm looking those numbers as reality is when it actually shocks me. And by doing my part as a fellow in a class, so I feel at least satisfied of making my class at least away from those percentages, contributing to those percentages. That gives me happiness. Yeah.